It's another week, and it's not the nicest start to the week. I haven't been to this hospital since our daughter was born, but a couple of weeks ago the dentist found some marks in my mouth and have sent me to see a specialist pronto. And the thing is that even though you tell yourself there's no point worrying, it's probably fine, of course your mind does somersaults. So the last couple of weeks I've been a bit distracted. Well, the good news is they don't seem overly worried, but they're going to do a biopsy in a couple of weeks to make sure. I'm relieved, big time. It kind of drives home that point though that, I don't know, what do you have in place for worst case scenarios? Like a couple of years ago I took out income protection, but I didn't take out critical illness cover because I thought, well, I'm mid-30s, maybe I'll look at it when I'm 40, and I'm 18 months off that, and that felt a bit close. I mention it on here, I mean, A, because it's happening, and that's kind of the point, but also because, you know, I'm conscious of the fact that there will be people watching this who maybe have gone through something. I follow freelancers who do an incredible job, you know, getting by being freelance whilst being sick. So I'm grateful for my health. But I think whenever you have something like this, it just sort of drums home the fragility of life, doesn't it? And it does that on one hand from a personal point of view, and then I also look at it from the business point of view. You know, what contingency plans do I have in place? It's inevitable, it all happens to us at some point, isn't it? Something happens to us, or it happens to one of our loved ones who will then need us. And also, what slack do you have in your life so that you can soak up things like this? Because I've already had 2 appointments plus today, which was like 3 hours, and yeah, okay, I did little bits of work here and there while waiting, but not even being sick, but being diagnosed for things takes up time. Do you have the slack in your day to manage that? I don't really. I don't. And this is pretty. Like a few years ago, I got attacked by a dog, and I had to keep going back every day to get a new dressing from a nurse. It took up so much time. I was so angry with that dog owner. Anyway, I'm grateful that there's nothing seriously wrong. Sorry, that was a really heavy start to the episode, wasn't it? Let's see how the week unfolds. So it's now Wednesday. Tuesday, I was so productive. I didn't realise like the weight that had been sitting on me the last couple of weeks, nor for my wife for that matter, who had been busy pretending that everything was fine and there was nothing to worry about, just the same as I had. And Monday night, yeah, there was a big sense of relief. And I think that then came out in my work yesterday. I got so much done. Monday night finished as well with a really lovely LinkedIn recommendation from a client, and I hadn't asked for it. You know, the recommendations, they're a bit like getting a reference, and it was just so overwhelmingly lovely. I need to take some clips from it and put it on my website. So that was lovely. Yeah, a good end of the day. The hard drives, which are normally up here, I have given their own little home. It's just a stool, but it's the same sort of wood as this table is made out of. And yeah, I'm quite pleased with how that's come out, really. I was just desperate to try and tidy this up a bit. I always feel bad. You know, this is a family space. It's also my workspace, but yeah, these flipping external hard drives just look a bit of a mess. So it's also quieter having them hidden down there, but there's enough airflow that hopefully it should all be fine. So I just spent the last hour on the phone to a guy from Ipsy. They've been really nice recently. They have started featuring the Being Freelance podcast that I make on their own website. Thank you so much to them for helping spread the word. But they're also doing an interview in their magazine with me, and I've just spent an hour on the phone. You can't help though but hang up the phone and then worry about what you've said. I feel like I'm so rambling and incoherent, but hopefully he manages to get something out of it and I don't come out of it sounding like an idiot or arrogant.
And you know, and also you kind of feel guilty that you're not working. You still feel bad about not doing something in the afternoon. But I've realised I'm wasting my time really. I should just not do it and do something else.
Back in London, Saturday night, my best friend's 40th birthday. Squeezing the most out of the trip here, editing this week's podcast, which is with Grant Kirkhope, whose computer games that he's composed for have sold over 30 million copies. Crikey. It's such a great story. Yeah, some really interesting bits in there. Beingfreelance.com, and of course search for Being Freelance wherever you normally get your podcasts. Yeah, it's been a pretty good week. You know, thinking back to the start of it, I think if I was to say anything, you know, the last couple of weeks have been all about backing up and taking care of my computer systems. And this time I feel like, you know, how have I backed up and taken care of me? Both physically, financially, but frankly, it's enough worrying for 1 week. Sometimes we've got to lighten up and dance.